Hello everyone, today I want to talk about an issue that is becoming something worrying because it is a situation that many children have experienced and that has been hidden in many cases. You know, children as victims are innocent without acts when they even knowing why they happen. And sometimes this happens by the same family nucleus. I'm Carlos Rivero, and with this I'm speaking about pedophilia. So, what is pedophilia? Pedophilia is a psychiatric disorder when a person is 16 years or older is primarily or exclusively attracted to children when they have not begun the puberty, maybe under 11 or 12 years old. Terminology. A person with pedophilia is called a pedophile. The child must be at least 5 years younger than the person in the case of adolescent. Like I said, those people are called pedophiles. So really important to know about the difference between ebipophilia and ebiphilia. Let's talk about them. What is ebipophilia? In this case, is when a person feels sexually attracted to teenagers when they are between 15 or 16 years old. But it's not just the sexual attraction, it's also when adults prefer such sexual partners. And ebiphilia in this case is almost the same, but here is when adults feel sexually attracted to pubescent children when they are between 11 or 13 years old. And so really incredible is those days many reports say that this has happened between female teachers and young students. Condition. Medically, this condition is classified by the American Psychiatry Association as a mental disorder. When some people have sex with children or use children in a sexual way, this is called child sexual abuse, because we know by law a child cannot have sex with adults. And some people who have pedophilic feelings sometimes don't abuse against children. And some people who aren't pedophiles sometimes abusing against children. Not all pedophiles feel or act in the same way. Now I'm going to tell you some examples about pedophiles' feelings. The first one, some people feel sexually attracted to pubescent children and they are exclusive, called pedophiles. The second one, some pedophiles feel sexually attracted to adults, but they prefer to have sex with children. And the third one, some pedophiles feel sexually attracted to children, but they prefer to have sex with adults as well. Stories, general. Well, the people who abuse children often known to them, maybe such as parents, relatives, friends, and aren't strangers. That's the point here. A good question. Is it common? Well, most researchers say that we don't know how many people in the population have pedophilic feelings. This is because it's so hard to know about people's feelings. I mean, we are not going to be asking everywhere to people like, excuse me, are you a pedophile person? Or excuse me, do you have pedophilic feelings? We are not going to do that because we know that it's something wrong and maybe something uncomfortable. And researchers say that the only way that we can know about the feeling of these people is just when they abuse against a child. That's the only way, because they can study about the case and they can know about why did they do that, or even why they wanted to do it. Because sometimes happen that some pedophiles say that it's a sexual orientation that they feel, or maybe it's something that they feel with children, or it's something that they wanted to do. Treatment. Well, most doctors believe that pedophilia cannot be cured. This is because we cannot change those people's minds. We cannot change their feelings. And the only way that we can help those people is talking to them and tell them that is something wrong, what they are doing, but sometimes also they feel that we are offending them. Well, you know, the current situation that we have when, for example, a man loves another man, or a woman loves another woman or they are living together, it's something for a lot of people normal, but for example for me it's something weird and something wrong. So what those people say, pedophiles, they say that if we respect those people, why we cannot respect their feelings with children? I can say if you see a woman that is living with another woman, it's maybe strange for a lot of people and normal for others. But what if we see a person that is, for example, an adult that is 40 years old with a child that is 12 years old? To be honest, it's something that I don't like and something that I disagree with this. Pedophilia in women. Well, let's know about the prevalence of pedophilia in women. Because we know the majority of sex offenders are men, but maybe women represent about 1 or 4% of the cases. And there are some reports say that this has happened between some adult women and some young children. But we know for a child it's so difficult to report this kind of case. Yeah, there is a big problem with this. The problem is those people cannot talk about their feelings. This is because they know that they will be hated for it. Maybe if you are a man, it's normal if you are telling me, for example, hey, my friend, I love my girlfriend, and of course there is a problem with this. Or maybe if you are a man, you are telling me, oh, I love my, if you are a woman, sorry, and you are telling me, for example, I love my boyfriend and I like that man, I want to get married him. It doesn't matter. We cannot minimize this love, but you won't be able to see those people talking about their feelings with children. Like, well, I love a child that is 12 years old, because like I said, they know that they will be hated for it. So now, just imagine a family vacation. And you are, for example, at the beach or maybe even in a park. I'm talking about maybe years later, but it's something that is happening now as well. So you are in a park and the weather is so lovely and you are with your daughter, your son, whoever, and they wouldn't be able to walk around the place just because there is someone that is sexually attracted to them. That's the exact story. And from the point of view, maybe you are thinking right now, like, well, we must eliminate those people from the society. But to be honest, it's not the only solution. We know that it's something wrong. We can eliminate those people when they haven't done anything wrong. And we are talking about biology. What I mean with biology is every single day are people born and maybe with the same difficult problem. I don't know if you have heard about the case of Joseph Fritzl in Austria. He locked up his daughter and abused her for years. And maybe you have heard about the case of Robert M. in Netherlands. He abused about 83 or 85 children when they were between 7 and 8 years old. And just when he had the opportunity, when he was walking around the place. The question is, where were their parents? So another thing is 80% or even 90% of children have been abused for someone that they know. Maybe in their neighborhood, maybe someone from their family members, and also from their friends. And yeah, you know, we can think right now like, well, if offenders do that, they must be punished for it. But my question is, what if this time the offender is your husband, is your wife, even your daughter or your son? Do you want this for them? Because for a lot of people, it's fear, but for others, this is unfair because it's a sexual orientation. And what if this case, the police is in your house talking to you about this kind of case? And what if the offender in this case is your workmate, your classmate, one of your friends? And maybe you are thinking right now like, well, I know my family, I know my friends, and it wouldn't happen. Of course, everybody isn't the same, but we don't know if you have a friend that is waiting for one of your child. And it's something that we are facing in everywhere. It's not just here, it's in the worldwide. So, what will we do? We must help those people because that's what they need, help. Maybe you are wondering right now those questions like, how can we keep the world of the internet safe for our children? Or maybe even, how can we reduce and maybe even eliminate a problem of child exploitation online? Well, I can simply tell you, this unfortunately, we will never be able to eliminate every possible risk out there. Today, I recommend for you, first of all, looking for God. And please be aware of your children and give them a good education about this. Be aware of your children and give them a good education. And if you see something wrong or something strange, please attend it quickly before things worse happen. Thank you so much.